With Resource Investing News, and I'm here with Chad Ulansky, CEO of Northern Uranium. So, Chad, thanks very much for being with me. Investors might not be too well versed with Northern Uranium. You're a new company, so to start off, can you tell us a little bit about the company?
Yeah, absolutely. Northern Uranium, as you've indicated, is absolutely, we're very fresh. The name actually came into effect on Friday, so a couple of days ago.
Okay. Yeah.
We've really only been around for a few months now. We took a shell company and built it around an asset that we've optioned from Athabasca Uranium, which is a project just across the border into Manitoba from the Athabasca Basin.
Okay. And why, I mean, there's a lot of people that know about the Athabasca Basin. What is it about being on the edge, or do you consider yourself an Athabasca company?
Yeah, we do actually consider ourselves to be an Athabasca company. One of the things that our management team is known for is taking a look outside the box, clearly demonstrated by Chuck Fipke, who's an integral investor in the company, of taking a look up in the territories in the early days, and when nobody thought that diamonds could be found in Canada. Obviously. Right. Made a pretty significant discovery that's turned Canada into one of the largest diamond producing nations in the world. So we're taking that same sort of philosophy and applying it to the Athabasca Basin. From our perspective, the Athabasca Basin used to be much larger than its current extent, and the reason that it is no longer as large as it once was is due to glaciation. The glaciers have stripped away a lot of those surficial sediments, leaving a much smaller basin today. And the significance for us is that we feel that the geology at the time these uranium deposits were in place was very similar in our project area to where it is within the Athabasca Basin today.
Okay. Yeah.
And that has a couple of really significant impacts, both in terms of exploration and development. In exploration, the mineralization is now exposed at surface because the mineralization occurs very close to the boundary between the sandstone and the basement rocks. So it's cheaper to explore for, and we get sniffs of it right at surface. And then secondly, if we're so fortunate to find a significant deposit, the economics when you move into a mining scenario are much, much more attractive, because in the Athabasca, they're typically mining down several hundreds of meters and more. And so clearly having an open pit style mine as opposed to an underground is very attractive. So That's the reason why we're focusing there.
That sounds good. So you touched briefly on one member of the management team. I know the management team is a big differentiator for you. Can you expand on that a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Beyond Chuck and his very important contribution to the company, Gennon McDowell is also a director of the company. He's got I think roughly 40 years of uranium experience around the globe. Okay. Is well recognized as one of the leading experts on uranium exploration. And then I've been in the business in exploration at least for over 25 years now too. So a strong technical team behind it, very focused on putting dollars in the ground and trying to generate good drill intercepts, because that's what we're aiming for.
Excellent, good. So uranium prices not helping anybody out. Why uranium? Why now?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the uranium prices at the moment are highly depressed. But even at the $30 level that they're currently trading, you take a look at some of the deposits like MacArthur and a few of the other Athabasca Basin mines, their rock is still worth over $10,000 a ton.
Okay. Right.
And when you put that in perspective of any other commodity, you can't achieve that in a large-scale gold mine or any other commodity. So, the economics can be very, very attractive. And then when we take a look at the middle term, experts who've spent their lives, forecasting what they expect the uranium supply and demand and therefore price be, are expecting the price to improve to $60 or $70 a pound. So, certainly in the middle term, where it becomes more important for us, the economics are supposed to improve.
Great, that makes sense. So you talked about some of the work that you've done already, your radon surveying, coming back with good results. Can you tell us what that implies?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as many of the viewers will know, radon is as close to a silver bullet as you can get for exploring for uranium. And uranium is very nice because it's probably one of the only commodities that will sit in the corner and it'll shout out to you and say, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And really what that is the radon surveys. Uranium is the only source of radon, and radon's a gas, and it percolates up to surface from mineralization at depth. And then through a variety of different survey techniques, you can actually detect that uranium or the alpha particles that are given off from it.
Okay.
And we've done a comprehensive survey over about a 10 by 3 kilometer area within our license. And the results that have come back from that have been phenomenal. The on-land results, we've got numerous really high quality targets that have come back exceptionally high. And then in the Radon X survey, which is done in water, the owner of Radon X has actually indicated to us that our results are the second highest he's ever seen, and they were second only to Patterson Lake South. So if we're going to be second, we're happy to be second to Patterson Lake. Really some exceptional results, and that radon can only come from one place, and that's from uranium. So we're comfortable with the fact that there's high grade mineralization within our license area. And our challenge at the moment is really to figure out A, where it is, and then B, determine how much of it's there. And that, from my perspective, is our main technical challenge: is find it and then how much is there. We know it's there someplace. It's just a matter of figuring out where it is.
So anything other than the radon that's guiding you in your upcoming drill program? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, we've really done a really comprehensive job on trying to define where the drill targets are. So we're building on an airborne magnetic survey, an airborne electromagnetic survey, IP surveys. We've done, or the previous people have done extensive prospecting and mapping. And when we tie all of those data sets together along with a ground gravity survey, which we've recently extended, it provides all the necessary steps towards targeting drill programs, obviously in combination with the radon results. So it's a really powerful data set, building on millions and millions of dollars worth of work by Canalaska prior to our involvement. So we feel that we're ideally positioned to really target some hopefully high-grade mineralization.
Good. So can you tell me about the drill program and what's coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. We're currently putting together the funds necessary to do a comprehensive drill program this summer. We're looking towards about a 40-hole program with our core rig. We also have a rotary air blast, or a RAB rig, on site, which is really a quick and dirty technique, but we're utilizing it to better guide our core drilling. And so there'll be in excess of 100 RAB holes drilled at the same time to once again take a look for some of that radon gas, which is telling us that there's some higher grade mineralization at depth, and then target it better with the core rig. Because as many people who have followed some of the other players before, it can be a real challenge to find the high grade mineralization because it's fairly thin, often very sinuous, and a bit erratic. Fission, for example, spent 2 seasons before they finally hit it. And although we'd like to avoid that if possible, clearly we're trying to have the funds in place to ensure that we can do a large amount of drilling in order to actually sink our teeth into it.
So that's a huge number of holes that you're talking about, 40 core holes and then 100 of the other type?
Yep.
All shallow, or?
Well, as indicated earlier, I mean, one of the benefits of our project is that we have really only overburden. We don't have any sandstones to penetrate because the basement subcrops or outcrops within our license area. And with our radon results combined with all the other geophysical and prospecting, we do actually have 40 discrete targets, many of which will warrant more than one hole, many of which warrant many holes because they're fairly large. So, even within the scope of the current drill program, we won't actually get to all of the priority anomalies, but you need to start someplace.
Wow. Okay, that's great. So what's the next step for the company?
Drill, drill, drill. The answer is going to come out of the core barrel. So, we're very excited to be moving forward and with a extensive drill program, and results will come.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that sounds like an interesting one for our investors to watch. Thanks very much.
Thanks for your time.
Mike Roger here. I've been talking with Chad Ulansky, CEO of Northern Uranium. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Mike.